Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, there it is. Could not find OBS on my second monitor. Like it wasn't showing up for some reason. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Teddy Save It. Hey, Rock Dude is here. So this is there's been an update to the game since the last time I played. Which is neat. The sorry, I was looking at something. The main new thing is that there's now a new way to go about doing like store expansion. Which is cool. I'll have to look at that here in just a moment. I just like opening the windows and doors. I don't know, I think it's cool. You know, to have like the windows and stuff open. But yeah, now there's a new way to go about doing the floor expansion, which is apparently this, the Wolfforge Hammer. So that's cool. Wolfforge Hammer now carries the power of expansion. Cool. Coins needed to remove wall. 2,350 coin. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Disenchant and remove wall. So yeah, this is, from what I understand, this is the new way that you do your shop expansion, is with this. And part of the reason that they have changed the wall expansion, the shop expansion stuff, is because, and you might have seen it in the previous episode where we had done, you know, the update here. But there is now a second floor to the shop. And with the addition, ooh. Huh. Well, now that's interesting. All of this is just immediately available, basically. Like, you could just put, like, shop stuff up here if you wanted to. Probably. Huh? This is new. Is this going to be yet another floor that they're going to add? Yo. I kind of love watching how, like, games evolve like this. This is one of the things I like about these early access games. Is they kind of let you see how the game has evolved, you know, over time. Which is cool. But yeah, this is way taller. Like this area, like this is way bigger now. So that's neat. I was wondering if you can like knock down this wall. No, it doesn't let me. Okay. But I can do like that wall. Whoops, I meant to hit cancel on that. Oh well. It's fine. I meant to hit cancel on that, but I guess I did not. But yeah, now, so one of the big things that they mentioned with this update is, you know, there's a lot of like regular decorations, like furniture, you know, like living space type decorations. Oh, hey, they moved him up here. How about that? He's no longer right here. So that's funny. So that's, or well, not funny, but that's neat. And one of the things that they mentioned in the update is like if you were originally wanting to say build like a home type place, you know, a living room, you know, a kitchen, stuff like that, you can now use the second floor for that if you want, you know, which I think is pretty cool. Of course, obviously, you know, you can also use it for the shop, you know, as well. But also, and this is probably the thing that I'm the most hyped for, you can now paint the outside of your shop. Now, I chose a really bad color in terms of like visibility. That pink is not the most visible. So I kind of picked a bad color in terms of visibility. But you can do it now, so that's cool. You couldn't paint the outside before. But now you can. Just like you can paint the exterior of this stuff. I wonder if you can paint your regular house as well. But now you can paint the exterior of your shop. So I will have to go about, you know, making it really cute and pink. Yeah, I still got a day on harvest. The other thing that comes with this update is there is a game made by another group that is very similar to Teddy's Haven. It is a fantasy shopkeeping type game. And I don't remember the name of it immediately offhand, but the dev of Teddy's Haven is doing a special bundle deal with them. Apparently they are people that he's been, you know, chatting with for the last, you know, few months. And they worked out a plan to like create a bundle for their games. And that just came out, which is cool. I saw it today on Steam, and I was like, oh hey, that looks a lot like, you know, Teddy's Haven. Like, it's a fantasy shopkeeping, you know, shop management type game. I'm like, that's cool, you know. Another person getting into the fantasy, you know, another person getting into, you know, the making a fantasy shopkeeper, you know, shop management, whatever you want to call it, type game. And then I happened to look, and I was like, oh wait, they've got a bundle with something. And the bundle was like one of the bundle was like, you already have one of two games in the bundle. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, that's interesting. I wonder what the other game is. And so, of course, I go and look. And sure enough, it's Teddy's Haven. I was like, oh, cool. You know? Because, like, yeah, there definitely was a part of me that was like, oh, you know, like, you know, I hope that, like, this new game doesn't hurt, you know, Teddy's Haven. But, you know, apparently the two devs, you know, are, I don't know if I want to say that they're friends, because that's not how he put it. You know, Maverick, the guy that does Teddy, but he did say that, like, he talks to the devs a lot. Like, he said he's been talking to the devs over the last few months about their game. You know? So I was like, okay, you know, clearly, like, he's not too worried, and, you know, it is Honeyglow. You know, he's, you know, got to deal with them and whatnot to do the bundles and stuff, you know? And I think that's cool. I mean, there definitely was a part of me, you know, that was like, oh, you know, this is very similar. This looks very similar to Teddy's Haven. The main difference being that it looks like the other game is more of a, like, supermarket simulator type game. Like, you focus on, like, just the shop. There isn't a lot of, like this, like what I'm doing, where I'm, like, making my own product, you know? Or, like, you know, going about harvesting stuff, etc. basically, it looks like it's focused on the market as opposed to, you know, like Teddy is, where there's a lot of other stuff to do. Which isn't a problem, you know. It's not like, oh, you know, freaking all they're doing is the market part, you know. It's just like, oh, you know, this one looks like it's more focused on the market part and not as heavily focused on some of the stuff that, some of the other things that I like about Teddy's Haven, which is the, like, you know, going around and, like, harvesting the resources. You know, yeah, I do kind of wish that there was an automation a little bit for, like, the crafting of the resources. Just because the more you, like, have to craft, the more, like, time consuming it is, right? But at the same time, like, that's one thing I like about the Teddy's Haven is that you get the ability to run around and do the crafting and stuff like that. So, like, I do hope that, you know, automation is something that can happen one day. I hope it's kind of a late game, you know, mid to late game feature. You know, so that it's not something that you're, like, you know, grabbing immediately, you know, kind of thing. But it's just would be also, it just also would be nice to be able to do that, you know. I'm also kind of checking around to see if, like, the world has changed much. Because the world regularly seems to kind of get updated each time. Like, there'll be some, you know, little things that are new everywhere, right? Like, I think the ore that I even just mined down here, like, I don't think the ore that was down there, like, I don't think that was there. This stuff was. But the stuff that was, like, right along that edge, oh my gosh. Like, I don't remember that being there, but I could be wrong. Sunglow hides within the heart of stone. It does not shine to be seen, but does so to remain. What is precious lies deep and waits patiently. Cool. This door has had several updates throughout the years. Or, well, not years. The game's only been in early access for a year now. But this door has had several updates along the way. But it doesn't look like anything related to that door has been updated this time. So, it used to be like a big double door. And you could, like, see through it. And, I mean, it was just, you know, rock on the other side. Because they haven't made whatever is going to be on the other side of this giant door yet. But I do suspect that the hammer that they just added, like, they were like, yes, you know, we just added the wolf hammer, whatever it was called, you know, for, like, shop expansion, right? But they were like, you know, there's more planned for the hammer. It'll have other uses later. I'm like, cool. Kind of surprised I'm yawning so hard here. Because I mean, maybe it's just, tiredness, has, like, caught up. But I only woke up, like, 4 hours ago. Which I guess doesn't mean anything to anybody watching since this is a pre-record. But it's almost 6 in the morning right now. Like, freaking, like, I woke up super late today because I didn't get to go to bed. I didn't get to go to bed until super late yesterday. Because I thought that I had an appointment. And so here's how it worked out. I was playing Genshin Impact, which is surprising. Might be surprising. I don't know. Like, I haven't been playing Genshin because the game balance has just gotten so bad that it's ridiculous. And like there's like a bunch of new characters, but it's not fun to pull for any of the new characters because it takes forever to freaking ascend them. Once was a knight named Arden, black-clad and feared for his fire. He was sent to the Flood Temple where Light had drowned. We've definitely read this one. He fought monsters, but none bled. He faced trials, then screamed. Only at the end, when he cast his sword and stood unarmed before the waters, did the flame within him turn from rage to warmth, or something like that. But like, so the new like stuff in Genshin, like the new story has been ridiculously awesome, but like getting the characters has been absolutely ridiculous. And like it's been such a pain. Because like, when the game first came out, freaking, 10 years ago? Like, that's the ridiculous part. Is it's legitimately like, freaking, well, maybe not 10, maybe like 8. But it like legitimately is like 8 years old, I think. It might be older than that, because I do remember, because I was thinking like, well, it probably came out, maybe it came out like 2020, but then I remembered like, no, Sumeru came out in 2020, and I remember that, well, maybe it was 2021, but I remember that because COVID forced MiHoYo to extend one of the patches by 3 weeks in order for them to get the patch out, because that just because of COVID, basically. But like, again, that was like that was like, I'm pretty sure that was like in the Inazuma arc. because what I'm recalling is that when Sumeru came out, the first 3 patches had a 5-week cycle instead of a 6-week cycle, so that they could get like development back on the schedule they wanted, which I guess I don't really get. Like, that essentially gave them, you know, an extra 3 weeks, you know. Like, they had to not develop for 3 weeks, yeah, but, like, that essentially, like, you know, like, it gave them, like, the extra time. Like, they had to, like, cut 3 weeks of, like, development somewhere. So, to then, like, to get the development, like, back on schedule. And that just seems weird to me. It is what it is, though. Anyway, what was I saying about that beforehand? Oh, yeah. So, like, so I didn't realize that I had a doctor appointment that I needed to go to at 11 yesterday. You know, 11 in the morning yesterday. And so I was playing through the Nod Cry part of Genshin, and I got to Act 7. And Act 7, before you start, it comes up and is like, hey, you know, before you start this, know that it will take a long time to get through. And it is highly recommended that you play it, like, through in one go. And I was like, okay, you know, like, I get that. What I'm thinking is, Act 7 will take some time to get through. And then when I get to Act 8, I'll have some kind of break in between that I can, like, stop playing, and then I can come back to Act 8. That's not what that meant. It meant that you're intended to play Act 7 and 8 together. I was like, oh, got it. Like, as I'm, like, getting into Act 8, I'm realizing, like, oh, I see. I think they meant that Act 7 and 8 are meant to be done together, you know? So I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's not a big deal. You know, if I go to bed a little late, I go to bed a little late. And so I get through it finally. And the main reason that I wanted to get through Act 8, the main reason I was doing Nod Cry and all that story, is one, it's almost done, which means Snezhnaya is, I don't think it's next patch. I think it's patch after next. I think we're going to get the usual, you know, pre-version patch where they're like, okay, this is what we're going to, you know, kind of, you know, here's some clues as to what'll be next version, you know. So I think I think that still comes out, because Snezhnaya is supposed to come out in August, and August is not 6 weeks away. Well, it's not even that it's not 6 weeks away. It's not 6 weeks away from when the last patch came out, which was almost 3 weeks ago, I think. So, like, I think there's 3, maybe 4 weeks. Like, I think it will be, like, at, like, mid-June. End of June, something like that. And then, Shania will come out after that in like the second week or something like that of August. And so it's like, okay, you know, like, you know, so I'm like, okay, you know, so I want to get caught up, first off. Second off, freaking, I play Lumine, and they gave us a new outfit for the Traveler, finally. And it is very attractive. Like, ridiculously, like, attractive. Like, it is, like, super sexy. And I'm like, I want the outfit. But to get the outfit, of course, you have to finish, you know, Chapter 8, or Act 8 of the current, you know, the Nodcry storyline. And, you know, now you can get up to, like, Act 10 of the Nodcry storyline. And, you know, I'm not gonna spoil what happened in that, because holy crap, lots happened, but again, I'm not gonna spoil what happened. It was just kind of like a big whoa patch, like, you know, story. Anyway, so, like, I didn't get done with Act 8 until, like, 8 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's not, you know, again, it's not too big of a deal, you know, I just go to bed now. And so I hop into bed, and and I suddenly, like, get this thought in my head that goes, you know, I have a doctor's appointment sometime this week. When is that? So before I go to sleep, I check. And I discover that, yeah, it's like that day at 11. And I'm like, oh, frick. So I'm like, oh, frick. Well, I can, you know, take a nap right fast, you know. I can just take a nap. And then, you know, I'll just take a nap, and then, you know, get up before we have to go, you know, yada yada. Did not fall asleep. And so after lying in bed for like an hour, I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'll just get up, you know, because I'm not getting any sleep after all. I get up, we go out to my doctor appointment. I get to the appointment. I get to the doctor's office, and I'm like, I check in, right, with the at the front desk and all, and they go, oh, yeah, that appointment got canceled. And I was like, oh. They were like, yeah, we according to this, they sent you. They tried to call you like in April about it. I'm like, what? Freaking, huh? Like, they called me in April about that? Like, I'm confused because, like, and I never did actually, like, find out what happened. But, like, it's June, So it's like, what? Like, what? April? They contacted me, like, beginning of April about this? Huh? Do you think the slightly darker pink would look better outside? I don't know. That's a little too saturated. I like the paler pink. I'm not really like, this is technically pink. Like this color, this like hot pink, that is technically like the color of like actual pink. Like when people say pink, like this is generally the color they mean. Like this is more of a light pink. But that's the color I prefer, is that light pink. I've always been more partial to that. It just is not as visible as I would like. That's all. I mean, you can definitely tell the difference between the painted and the unpainted. It's just still, it's not quite as like visible. I feel like it's not quite as visible as I would like it to be. That's all. I'm gonna need a lot of paint if I'm actually gonna hit like everything, like all of the walls, and not like just the first floor. I think it's fine for now that I just do the first floor. I will say one thing that I would like for them to do is to maybe consider making it so that we can remove like the vines, or like patch in. Whoa. All right. But like, or, you know, like patch in the like missing wallpaper here, you know? Maybe. Maybe one day. I just think it would look better without, like, the vines. You know? It would make the shop look cleaner and nicer, essentially. Maybe that's just me. Since this area is open and like available, I'm tempted to like knock this wall down and like create an opening between this and the bottom floor there. Like, I think I have to knock down 2 walls. I think it's this wall and then, like, a wall that's, like, right there. So, like, I'll probably do that, like, the next day. Can I fish here? Yes. Oh, that's right. There are other, like, fish types, aren't there? I forgot. There's, like, lake fish and, like, pond fish. Void glimmerfin. I don't know if, like, how far you cast matters. Like, if I'm just here and I'm doing, like, little casts, you know? Like, will that, like, change anything? Because, like, this is definitely faster. Oh. Legendary Chroma Glimmerfin. Another Void Glimmerfin. Radiant Aura Fin. Okay. Did a little bit of that. I want to come back here to do some shop management. You know, I don't want any stock to run out if I can avoid it. I mean, you know, I've got plenty of freaking, like, the cashiers are doing like a great job of handling all of that. Like, I will say this is one thing that I like over this as, like, versus, like, Supermarket Sim. Like, in Supermarket Sim, it's like, you get a cashier, right? But then, like, they're super slow. I like that the cashiers here are pretty much on par with, like, yourself. Because, you know, it's, like, mostly based off of, ooh, I was just about out of Snow Bloom. Yeah, it's mostly based off of, like, the bagging skill. right? Which is leveled up as they do things too. So like the more that the more they check out people, like the faster they get too, which is nice. I'm just kind of like, I'm wanting to also like look at the stock as well as, you know, double check the numbers, you know, because like, for example, you know, like I can hold 24 of these, but if I'm selling like 2 a day, you know, then I don't really need to buy any more when I'm at like 20, you know. Joke friend. Not seeing any nighttime events, which is totally fine. That was more just making an observation than it was anything else, you know. It's like, oh, there's I'm not seeing any nighttime events. You know? I really like also kind of wonder how much I need to be like actually harvesting stuff. Because like I'm not really using any of the summer products. Which like I could consider changing out stuff seasonally. But I also just feel like that's a lot of work. You know? Ba ba da da, ba da 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 da, ba da da. And then like we can come up here and like you're like remove wall and boom, now it's connected. And like this is sort of also the other thing, like let's say you wanted to use upstairs as like just a house, so you don't want it connected. Like now you don't have to, you know? Now you don't have to have it connected. But like I'm probably not going to do any of that. So for me, I want it connected. Metal chandelier. Whoops. I feel like I am my local Walmart right now. My local Walmart has been doing renovations, and the renovations are taking them like 3 months to do, so they're not closed. So like you're walking around, you know, freaking ooh, like you're oh, right. I was thinking these. Well, I have them like that. But so you're like walking around Walmart, you know, like, you know, walking around going to buy something, you know, you walk over here to this rack, and then you look over, and there's just workers walking past you, like, carrying stuff so that they can freaking, you know, like, they were, like, tearing down a couple of shelves the other day. So they were, like, yeah, I'm, like, sitting there, you know, like, buying something. And I watch a worker just, like, walk right next to me. And he just, like, grabs the shelf and walks off. I'm just like, okay. Like, the shelf was empty, you know. But it was still just like, you know, I'm over here in the aisle, right? And, like, there's still some stuff here. But, like, there's all of this, right? Like, all of this is empty. But, like, there's still this. And so I'm like, you know, I come in on the little, like, buggy, the little scooter cart thing. And I'm like, you know, sitting here and pulling something off the shelf. And one of the workers just comes from the other side and is just like, walks over, grabs the shelf, and walks off. I was just like, whoa. I'm like, alright. Freaking just carrying the shelf right freaking just pick up the whole shelf and take it right off. Why don't you know? It was just really funny to me, like watching them do that. And that's what like this, you know, as I'm like, you know, there's all these customers, but then I'm like, come over, knock over the wall, bring a chandelier, you know. It's like, freaking my, you know, in the middle of the freaking, you know, running the store and just renovating the whole freaking place at the same time, you know. It's just funny. Especially since I had, like, the speed boost from, you know, the mount there. So, I want a chandelier here, probably. And I want, you know, more chandeliers along this way. 1, 2, 3 more, at least, maybe 4. I think I'll just grab 4. Whee! I love the way the boxes spawn in. I think it's funny. Just like watching the box spawn in and like go flying. Gonna need a lot of pink paint. Oh, did I finish what I was saying about the doctor? The freaking doctor's office? Like, I don't think I did, because I'm like remembering where I was in the story. So So like I get to, we go to the doctor's office, right? And I get to the office and no, I did. Cause I mentioned that the appointment got canceled. So no, I actually did. No, I did. So yeah, actually, I did finish telling that story all the way, I guess. Whoops. Chandelure. One more chandelure for this space. Cool. And while it looks like I can't open this wall up, it's still fine. Like, I have like this area now too. I don't even know what I would like put up here yet. So I don't even know like if I'm gonna bother doing anything further with that. But I will need a good bit of paint. I'm also wondering if I want to knock these two walls down. And I'm gonna bet you that the prices are the prices for like the new hammer thing are, what did that even, like I clicked here. What the? It painted the backside. Not the front side. Alright. Like, it had to paint something, freaking... It used the paint. Huh. Yeah, and I can't paint anything. I think this is just backwards. I think that right there is just backwards. Because, like, you're not really going to see down here, right? So he's like, well, you don't need that. You don't need to worry about painting that. But it's not, like, set up correctly. Again, this is purely my speculation on, how the mind of the developer. Just purely based off of like my own knowledge of like game development from doing a little bit of it myself. Cool. Well, that's not pink, but I'm sure they'll fix it. It's just one of those, like, it's one of those little bugs, Whoops. Just one of those little bugs. So. I was like, oops, we thought we did that, but it turns out we didn't. We thought we had that working correctly, but I guess not. Okay, that's about what I figured. Ooh, I forgot about that wall. That's alright. I bought 2. But yeah, I'm wondering if the... Oh, interesting. This wall actually can't be painted. Whoops. These little corner pieces. I mean, I guess there's no reason not to just paint the entire thing. Unless, you know, it doesn't let me. That particular wall, it cannot currently be painted. Apparently. Cool. I don't know what I would use all of this area for yet. But it is now available. Guess we'll go finish up the day. No immediate sign of any guests. Where did I... There he is. There's my boulder. Yeah, I have no idea what to even, like, put up here. I'll have to think about it, I guess. No, I don't. It looks like there's just, it looks like I just don't have any guests today. Which is fine. I mean, you know, you don't always have guests. That would be a little OP. So. There is no developer on the mountain. So I need to, for achievements, I need to speak with the Sphinx again. I need to speak with the developer on top of the mountain. And I need the multi-headed giraffe. I need all of them to show up again. Because again, it didn't like track Like the old stuff. Like it didn't like retroactively apply the achievements, you know? For me interacting with them before. And you know, I haven't seen them since the achievements were added. So those are still out. But aside from those 3 achievements, the only other achievement that I am missing is getting to level 35 of gem making. So, at least at the moment, you know, when they add more stuff, I'm sure that I'll have to go get those achievements too, you know. Also, it is June, as I mentioned earlier, and some that know, you know, you know, for those that remember that I was doing these pre-records through May because of the move, we currently are not moved into the new place yet, because we couldn't actually get a U-Haul last week. Oh, well, hi there. But we weren't able to get a U-Haul last week. So we were not able to do, like, the big stuff. So, because we weren't able to do that, all of our big stuff, like beds and stuff, are still here at this house. And of course that means, you know, that I am also here at this house. And we're still busy doing a lot of moving. You know, we're still doing a lot of packing up of the smaller stuff and moving it around. Like, as far as, like, packing goes, you know, as far as like packing to move goes, like whenever my stuff gets moved, I will not be busy anymore because I literally only have a few things. And so, you know, once those few things get moved, you know, it like all of my stuff is going to get moved in one go, basically. Just because of how like little I have. And it's not so much that like I am busy with, you know, the move, as much as it is that my computer sits out in the living room, which is where a lot of the stuff goes on. My cat just jumped up onto my the top section of my desk, except that she missed and freaking smacked into the second monitor. So, whoops. I'm gonna keep harvesting the ram that's over here. Like, I don't know if I can, like, sell that in the shop. I haven't looked. Still remember the girl who fell from the sky. Her name was Saren, not to be confused with Serene. Because, you know, it's not me. Oops. My camera got bumped in the process of all that. She came speaking of a locked goddess in a world beyond the frost. Elric, a fire-hearted wanderer, joined her. Together they braved cold lands, cruel face. In the end, he let her go, not because he did not love her, but because he did. Also, it does seem like a really weird amount of days. You know, 11 days for a season. Like, that seems like a really weird, like, amount of days, you know? But, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Lots of Manasite all along that section. Manasite, Sangrelith, Amber Roots over there. I don't actually know where any of the ores themselves are. Specifically. Like, I just freaking... Like, I've just used the Oreling to make all of the ore that I have, really. Like, I probably could just stop mining altogether at this point. Because, like, first off, I'm max level on mining, right? But also, like, anything I want to mine, I can just get from the freaking Oreling. So, like, I could probably just stop mining I could probably stop mining. I would eventually have to return to, like, collecting the berries eventually. But, like, because of, like, where I have, all of the, ooh, that's a little sharp edge right there. I'm sure that'll get smoothed over in a few updates. But yeah. I don't know what I was trying to say. I, like, forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the mining. Like, due to, like, where I have the glow harvest spires, like, I have those positioned in spots where there's plenty of stone. So, like, I could probably just automate mining those specifically. And then just, you know, give some stone to our buddy up there. And I would probably get freaking all of, like, the ores that I could ever need, really. So, our buddy the Yorling. Also, I hope people have been enjoying Shadowbringers. I don't know how much, crossover there is between this and Shadowbringers. But, I just was really excited to, get into going through that again. And it's a good story arc, The Shadowbringers story arc is just, it's just good. I just like this Shadowbringer story arc, Nope, you still have to click. It auto throws it into the bin, but you still have to actually click on the thing. That's fine. They do need to think about expanding the notification window, maybe. Because, freaking... with the Orling here, I get so much stuff that the notifications are just, into the bottom of the screen. At the same time, I understand that they probably just don't want that to, get out of hand. That they don't want to, fill your screen with the notifications. And this is preferable, to, having the entire screen full of notifications. But, I don't know. At the same time, it's a little difficult to kind of track everything that you're getting from this guy. I don't actually know, how much stone I'm converting versus how much ore I'm getting back. It looks like it's 200 or so. I don't know. It doesn't tell me how much is in each, how much there is in the crate. Maybe 150? No, more than that. 250? Maybe it's an uneven. It might also not be an even number. It might be an odd amount. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, but then 3 layers. And then 9 stone per. So that's what? 3. That's 3 layers times 6 rows times 9 columns. Yeah. 396. It's 396 actually. How about that? Which would be, where's the calculator? 396. 162. So if I have, let's see if that's right. 73845. And then I take one out. And then now I have 73683. Yep, 162. That is right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 162. Which is like what I was kind of meaning by like an odd amount. You know? It's not like a multiple of like 50, you know? It's 162, which is kind of a weird amount for it, you know, there to be. You know, I'm not throwing in 100 or 150 or, you know, something like that. I'm throwing in 162. It would definitely be nice if I could have an automatable way to feed this dude. Other than just, you know, standing here and throwing ore into his face. That said, I don't know that he's getting any bigger now. Like, he might legitimately be so big that any actual growth is like minor overall. And like he needs like 100 crates to like have a noticeable growth, but then because you're sitting here, you know, constantly like moving, you're not able to get a good view of like how he is still growing, kind of thing. So, but I don't know. I don't actually know if he's still growing or not. Like, I would need to put something down to serve as like a marker that like measures how big he is. And then after giving him a bunch, then like look and see if, you know, like if like he has become bigger than the marker. But I legitimately think that he's gotten so big that if he is still growing, like, at this point, like, a 1% growth is going to be so small that you wouldn't even notice. You know? So, like, even if, like, after, like, 50 of these crates, he's only grown, like, 1%, you know? Like, it's going to be barely noticeable. But he is a big boy, regardless of whether he is growing or not. He do be massive. But yeah, I would need some way of like measuring him at this point. So like if he is still growing, like I would need something that where I can actually like measure his like change in height. Aw, he floats on the water just like I do. I thought it might be cool to like stick him like in the water, you know? And then have so that he kind of like rises out of the water. Good Lord. So he's as tall as this cliff. Like, good gravy. I wish I could zoom out myself so that I could actually like see. You know, like with him being this big, I'm not getting a good idea of like where I'm placing him. You know, like he's practically not even visible when I'm placing him. But good Lord, you're massive. I can reach him. Yeah, like I can reach his arm, for example. Because like me putting him here, right? It's kind of dependent on like if I can feed him from here. Like sort of. There we go. I stand like right there. I can feed him. Kinda gotta stand like here and like look up at him. Maybe now we'll be able to see if he's growing or not. By like comparing him to the cliff, you know? This is definitely like a co-op thing, though. Like co-op would be good for this. You know? Like somebody just like sits here and, you know, feeds him while other like players go around and do other things. I mean, it would be freaking boring for that one player, but it would be like a daily task, you know? Like, here's the thing. If I actually sat here and did this until he's, like, until I'm, like, out of stone, like, I would eventually be able to make feeding him, like, a quick thing that I can do. But right now, because I have freaking 80,000 ore, it's not a quick task. But if I like sat down and did it all, and then like came up here every day after that, like it would be a much quicker task to get done, you know? Like I wouldn't be sitting here, you know, waiting forever, going through 1,000 crates, you know? So I realized as I was watering, I was like, wait a minute, I need to harvest. Crafting, I think. Yes. Milkweed. We've got Blue Sky, Dark Luna, Dragon Blood, Honeyglow, Glitch, and Star. I do wish that there was another way to do this, so that you're not pulling out entire crates, you know? Whoops. Store! Like you're not having to pull out entire crates. Just to, you know, put those in. Sky, Dark Luna, Dragon Blood, Regular, Glitch, Star, and Honeyglow. Because we get the elder milk from the cows. Doop ba doop ba doop. Doop 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 doop. Hey, by doing it that way, I can put them in the correct order. Ha-da-da! Azure, Bloodberry, Frost Gleam, Like, my thought on something that they could do, and I suppose, you know, there's very little chance of Maverick, like, seeing this. But a thought on something that they could do. Make an item that you can say, like, put a crate of this thing in every day. You know? Like, spawn a crate of this. For me, you know? Every day. And then you, like, walk over to it. You know? And you click on it and it, like, spews out all the stuff. So that so that you don't have this where it's like, okay, you know, I'm making 8 gems, right? But then I'm making 8 buzz. And the easiest way to keep track of the 8 and the 8 is for me to spawn in, you know, 2 crates of each individual thing. And then, you know, dump one over here, dump one over there, dump one over here, dump one over there. An item that I can, like, walk over, I click, and it, like, spews the crates out, right? And or, like, you click and it opens, and it's like, here's the crates, you know? Then you, like, you can click from there. Like, but just some manner of, like, you know, I'm going to do this every day. So, you know, give that to me and have it be, you know, ready and available for me to just, like, walk over, you know? Like, for this, for example, like the farming here, like, I click a thing and it, like, spews, you know, the individual items out. Which I guess, I mean, you also can't carry individual items, so maybe that wouldn't work for that. But, like, each of these requires, like, a full crate. So then, like, you know, I designate, you know, these are the 8 things that I'm going to, you know, make over here. So I tell it, you know, put 1 crate of each into this box at the beginning of the day. I walk over, I click it, and then it's like dump, you know. It gives me, like, it either, like, opens a UI where I can, like, then, you know, take them out individually, or it literally just, like, spews them out. I think that would be really fun. That might get a little annoying at the same time, but I do think that would also be really funny and fun to have it, like, just spew the crates out. I don't know, maybe I'll, like, clip this and then share it in the Discord after. Assuming I even remember. Like, that could be a good way for me to give suggestions. Like, when I think of them. Like, I come up with it in, like, the episode, right? So then I, like, just clip it when I upload it to YouTube. Or, I guess because I'll be streaming it more regularly. You know, once the move is done, right? Like maybe there, it's like I suppose Twitch still has, you know, clip as well, so I could just, you know, clip it over on Twitch as well. But either way, you know, just something to be able to like designate. You know, I'm going to make a lot of this every day, so it'd be really nice if I could just get access to that regularly. You know? Whoopsies. Some kind of vertical snapping would also be nice on the walls here, because, like, you know, you can snap to a grid of 15 left and right, right? But it doesn't do that up and down. You know, maybe make the wall placement the same, like, grid. I don't know, these are just the things that I'm, you know, thinking up. None of them have to be done, of course. They're just, you know, some suggestions off of the top of my head here. Oh, you know, I've got a grid of 15 right now. And my original placement of 3 over was based off of the 10 grid, right? Also, I just realized that I have rotate snap set really high. Alright. I mean, it's not the best. Not exactly what I want in terms of, like, appearance. But like the issue is that I've got one more of these than I have on this side. There's nothing I can do about that, though. They look fine. It looks fine. Like, unless I want to knock down, like, these 2 walls. No, I think I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that for now. Let me pay off all bills first. And then we're at 3,000, so I wouldn't have enough to deconstruct 2 walls. I would probably end up deconstructing this wall, but that would then leave this wall, and I would need to do both of those. So, this is fine for now. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I want to do too much. With that right now. The most rare of potions. Ooh. Furniture set. Painting environments. More dragons. This. 26 more items from Winterglow. Which, you know, is their holiday stuff. Got a lot of bulbs. Hey, I got unlocked some new hats, too. Presents, big and small. Also, oh, the light orbs are part of Winterglow as well. I was like, the orb lights are randomly under holiday, but no, it's because they're part of Winterglow. I didn't even realize that. Huh. Neat. Fight the Grimlock. Each piece is said to bring laughter from the beyond. Now we come down here to this stuff. Sir Rattles-a-Lot, Mortimer Mirthbone, Skelly Cuddlegrin, Clatterton Cozy Bones. I love them. Total waste of money, but I'm gonna buy one of each of these. And we're just gonna put them over here. Skelly Cuddlegrin. Oh, here's Sir Rattles-a-Lot, the basic skeleton. Total waste of money. Because, like, each one of these was 700. But it's cool, I guess. See, what I'm thinking I could do is take my 2 aquariums and, like, put them up here And I mean, I've only got the 2 right now, of course. But the idea would be to, you know, get more eventually. And thus, you know, maybe make a fish area up here. Maybe. Again, the main thing is just how, like, how difficult it is to get the, like, exact fish that you want. You know? It's like, okay, I've got some Void Glimmerfin, right? But then, like, you know, even if I, like, put the Void Glimmerfin here, like, I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna sell quite a few of these, probably, right? And so I'm gonna want more than just those 6. Or, you know, more than, you know, just these 3. I was like, it can hold either 4 types of fish, or it's just the placement. And, like, this is the one especially that I would be, like, concerned about, because you can only have 1 of the Wild Root Drakefin. What if, like, 3 customers want that, right? So, like, my thought would be, like, maybe I would just have to put multiple fish in. But then, like, what if I run out of stock? You know, I've only got freaking 12 of these guys. And I mean, yes, the answer is, well, you just go fishing more. But those ones I got, the big ones there, I got those from over here. You know? So then, like, I would need to fish. Suncurrent Tide Rush. Oh, and you know what? I just realized... well, I didn't just realize. It's more I just remembered. Fish are seasonal. So everything that I just put up there... Well, no, not everything. The like, void ones. Those ones I'll get more of. I just caught those, yesterday in-game. Like, the ones I'm getting now, like, the ones that I have in my bag already, like, I'm not gonna get those again. Which really makes me question, selling the fishies. Like the Void Glimmerfin, the Green White Grimscale, I don't think I'm gonna get any more of. Why was I, like, running all the way back down? The these guys. Void Glimmer Fin. I know I don't have any more of those, but I was gonna say, I think I was getting Glimmer Fin fish, right? But now I don't actually. Maybe I was only getting these guys and the Chroma. Maybe I was getting something completely different too. I'm just thinking, like, whatever I would want to sell, the best option would be while the store is running. You know? Since they handle everything for the most part. Then I could sit here and, like, fish. Aqualume Grass Dart. Void Glimmerfin. And I bet you the Wisps are gonna go stock those now. Because I just got 2 of those fish. And I have those in the, like, thing already, right? I bet you anything that they're gonna go stock the two that I just got there. Oh, and I got another Void Glimmerfin. Hey, my fishing went up enough that now I'm getting 2 fish at a time. Oh. Gold tier. Mirai Soul Flare. 1, 2. Void Glimmerfin. Aqualume Glass Dart. Oh, legendary. Chroma Glimmerfin. Whoops. Okay. And that's the other thing. Like, trying to kind of track which ones actually, like, appear, you know? Mirai Soul Flares. Void Glimmerfin. Oh yeah, now there's 12 in here. 12 Void Glimmerfins. The Wild Root Drake Fins I have 12 of, but these aren't the current seasonal fish. Whoops, I did that backwards. I wanted this out. I wanted this aquarium to be out. gonna say, of course, the Mirai Soul Flare is gonna be a big fish. And we'll put those guys in. But also, I'm very likely to run out of the Mirai Soul Flare pretty quickly, considering that that was one of the legendary pops. Just like, I'm assuming the Chroma Glimmer Fin was also a legendary. And, like, I've already forgotten what else I was getting. Oh, the Aqualume Glass Dart was one of the ones I was getting. Which there are so many of. I don't even have a full crate of these guys yet. $98.50 per fish. Good lord. But again, what happens if, like, one customer grabs the Mirai freaking Soul Flare, and then another customer wants to, like, grab it, but freaking I can only put one at a time, right? And then, like, so then, like, it doesn't get stocked for, you know, until the freaking Wisp stock it. I don't know, the fish thing is an interesting idea. I'm just not fully sure I like the way that you go about getting the fish. You know, with it being completely random, like what fish you get. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say it's completely random, right? Then again, here's the thing, like, it also may simply be that I don't like it, and that really there's nothing wrong. Like, maybe there are other, like, a majority of players that play this game and are like, yeah, I love the way that fishing works. Oh yeah, Chroma Glimmer Fin. And it's like, yeah, for the majority of people it works. But like, and here's my problem. Like, I try's not the right word. I don't care for optimizing in most things. But in like a shop game like this, it's not so much that I'm trying to like optimize as much as it is that I don't like running out of stock. Like, the running out of stock is the part I don't like. And so, like, you know, normally I wouldn't, like, try to hyper-optimize, you know, anything in most games. But the idea of running out of stock of stuff, like, regularly makes me be like, I don't want that to happen. And so then I'm like trying to optimize just off of the principle of, you know, not wanting to run out of stock of things. You know, I want to run a well-kept store. It's like, I'll tell you what it is. It's like the ADHD aspect, right? Of like, I want to do this, I want to do these things, and I want to do things fast. You know? Combined with like the autistic, like, everything needs to be like in good order, and everything needs to be like, you know, well kept, you know, neat and orderly, you know. And it's like, well, I don't want to run out of stock. But meanwhile, like, at the same time, you know, how much am I selling, right? I mean, I sold one Mirai Soul Flare, and I might have even sold the other Mirai Soul Flare. Nope. This person's coming up here to get fish. They make me have to walk all the way up the stairs just to buy fish. Like, that's all I have up here. So like that, I can see, like, in real life, like that being the complaint, right? It's like, I have to walk to an entirely separate section of the store and walk up these stairs. Also, I could buy this one thing, like, whoa, like right here, you know, like I had one light barrier left, you know, and it's like, oh, I need to freaking stock that real fast before I run out. And it's like, I don't want the fish to ever run out of stock. I want there to I want to be able to make sure that there's always fish. But that's just not possible with the current system. But also, like, in a relaxed playthrough, where you're just, like, you know, enjoying things, hanging out. Which is, you know, is not my playthrough, obviously. But, like, when it comes to these kinds of games, like, that's not how I play these. At all. Right? So, like, in a calm, relaxed playthrough, you know, of just like, I'll just do whatever, you know? Like, these systems, they're perfect, right? But then you have me, who's like, but everything needs to be stocked and stocked well. You know? I don't want customers to come in, walk up here to buy their freaking Mirai Soul Flare, and there's no Mirai Soul Flare. That said, I've watched a whole 2 customers walk up here. So, people buying fish may not be that common. They might be more like toys, you know? Where, like, having 20 on hand, you're pretty much good for like a week, you know? Or a season, or however you want to call it, you know? What you buying? Void Glimmerfins. I bought 3 Void Glimmerfins. Yep. So I have to now remove this wall as well. Which is what I figured. I kind of figured that that was the way that it was going to work now because of that. So it's still neat. Also, I have no idea if I just like ruined anybody's pathfinding by doing that. Because, like, you know, I don't know if any of them were planning to like pathfind to the fish only to then have me pick it up. You know? Whoops. Chandelure. I'm probably gonna regret like buying this like section. Just because of, you know, like, yeah, like I'm at 2,000 monies, you know, and like I got a stock, and you know. And what did I put in this section? Fish. And, you know, these 4 skeleton bros. Could put the fish here. But like, because it's so much cheaper per wall, like because you're buying, you're removing the walls individually, I should say. Like, you feel more inclined, I feel more inclined anyway, to, you know, knock the wall out. I wonder, because like this wall is sticking out, right? I wonder if there's 3 walls per section. Like if I knock this wall out, am I going to find a wall behind it? Like I haven't had any sections that have like connected yet, you know? So like, I don't know if like I remove these 2 walls, if there's then going to be 2 walls here behind, or not, you know? But also like right here, right? Like look at this too. Like this is sticking out from this wall. I guess we'll find out when we go knocking the next walls down. Because it's very possible. Because if you think about it, that would make sense. Because, like, that's probably the way it was before. You know, you were opening all 4 walls up each time, right? But also maybe not. I mean, this wall kind of sticks out. Maybe the walls are a little thicker. Like where you can, you know, remove them. I don't know. Because, yeah, this wall sticks out. I don't remember this wall sticking out before either. I don't think it did. Because I'm looking at where I have this. I would have put this up against the wall. Not in the wall. Interesting. I guess we'll find out when we get to that point. I guess we'll find out when we get there. So, I didn't see any guests over there. Not seeing any guests over here. So I don't think we have any guests today, which is totally fine, again. It's more just, you know, making sure that I don't have guests that I should be, you know, paying attention, that I should be, like, meeting first. I don't know, maybe this is the part where, like, the other game, you know, the other game that I mentioned, the Arcane, Shopkeeper or whatever it's called. Like, maybe this is an aspect where, like, maybe I would prefer that one over this. And in fairness, like, I do really like this game. And, you know, I always enjoy playing it. But also this was the only, like, fantasy shopkeeper type game. You know? So the idea of, like, well, you know, I would prefer a game that does these things, you know. It's like Teddy's Haven maybe doesn't have those. And so, like, actually, I would prefer the other game now more. But I also have no idea. Because I haven't played the other game. I did think about downloading it. Or buying it and downloading it. Because, like, I haven't bought it. But I did think about the idea of, like, buying it. And then, like, you know, doing some records. To kind of give it a try. And again, that might be, like, more... That also might be more to, like, Teddy's Haven's benefit. Having that, like, other fantasy, you know, shop simulator. Because, like, here I am making recommendations of, like, this is what, you know, the game, this is what the game should do, right? But, like, maybe that's not the vision of, like, Maverick. And, like, another game could, therefore, have those elements that I like. And so now it's like, yeah, you know, maybe, you know, a lot, maybe there, you know, were a lot of people that weren't playing Teddy's Haven. And, like, they weren't, you know, recommending it to, like, their friends or such. Because, you know, it doesn't have whatever game mechanic, right? And so now, like, the people that wouldn't enjoy Teddy's Haven, like, now they, like, leave the community, which leaves more room for the people that would enjoy to then come in and, you know, enjoy, right? Because now you don't have a bunch of people, like, that are disliking the game, and so therefore now the game gets bigger because more people like the game. Does that make sense? Like, the percentage of the people that like the game is now higher. Which then causes more people to come in because the percentage is higher. But also, like, the other big difference is that one is a fully released game, whereas Teddy's Haven is an early access. And so it's like, you know, maybe this game you would like more, but in actuality, you would like Teddy's Haven more if you were to compare the finished products, you know. But Teddy's Haven's not finished yet. Like, if Breath of the Wild came out and it only included, like, the Gerudo side quest or main quest, you know, and like that area, and then it was like, well, you know, maybe people wouldn't like Breath of the Wild as much. You know, they would prefer another open world game. But then, like, you compare that to the amount, the people that like Breath of the Wild with the game being finished. You know? Like, how many people have, like, started playing Minecraft now? Like, since it came, since its full, like, release, right? And, like, how many people, like, started playing Minecraft and stopped while it was, like, in early access, but then, like, once the full version came out, like, they started playing? Or, like, you know, the people that have stopped playing Minecraft at the moment, but then an update comes out and it makes them want to play it, you know? I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense. This is the problem with pre-recorded videos. You don't have the chat right there. Oh, hey. My friend, well, I don't know. I was gonna say, my friend Mist is playing Teddy's Haven, but I don't know if that's I don't know that that's our relationship right now, due to some things that I did. And said. So. I won't go into all, I won't like go into what has happened there. That's, you know, there's some like private, you know, stuff that I think both she and I would prefer, you know, I didn't, you know, talk about. So in either case, I saw her, I saw a notification saying that she was playing Teddy's Haven. I'm glad that she seems to be enjoying it. Because she recently, like, started playing it. Like, she picked it up fairly recently. Like, only, I want to say, like, a month ago. Maybe a little bit longer. Might be a little bit longer. I have no perception of time. Like, at all. Like, there are things that that will happen, and it was like, that was 2 days ago, but it was like freaking 4 years ago. And then it's like, then I have some things that are the opposite. Where I'm like, yeah, you know that thing that occurred like 4 years ago? And it's like, that was just like 2 days. I'm like, what the frick? Huh? How is this possible? I just have no concept of like the passage of time. You know, my brain just refuses to like track time. So it sucks a lot. Like it really sucks, like a lot. It's kind of a huge pain. So, but what can you do? So, like, I don't even know how long it's been, you know. Anyway, like I said, I got a notification that she was playing it, and like, I saw her play it like once, and then I didn't see her play it like at all, really. And so I was like, you know, maybe she didn't enjoy it. But maybe I was also only seeing the notifications like later in the day, you know? Tale of Vaelrond, the Mirror Blade, comes sharp and clear. 12 warriors, each carrying their own storm, sought to destroy or claim it. Blade showed them themselves, flawed, frightened human. Only one walked away untouched by power, but changed. God, like, I almost wish that something like that could exist, you know? this thing shows you, like, the truth about yourself. Like, the undeniable truth, you know? It would probably be really bad for me. It would probably be really bad for me. Although that would be really interesting in my opinion. Like, you know, that this thing shows you the undeniable truth. And then I'm like, well, you know, I'm sure that if I looked at it, it would be bad. And then it's like, oh, actually, no. Like, it's actually really good. I definitely know some people that I would love to, you know, hand it to. Because they think they're all that, you know, these are like amazing people and doing all these good things. And I'm like, you are a literal piece of crap. You're not a good person. You know, you're not a good person, you know that, right? Freaking GLaDOS. But like, at the same time, that does beg the question, right? Like, okay, there's an item that shows you undeniably, right? Like, if you're good or bad. You know, the truth about you. And like, whether you're, you know, how good or how bad you are. But like, how does it define good and bad, you know? Like, there has to be an objective measure. Except that there is no objective measure for good and bad. There are subjective measures, you know? There are things that people view as like, you know, this is like good morality, this is bad morality, you know. Like if you do this, you're a good person. If you do that, you're a bad person, you know. But like, none of it is actually objective, because truthfully, good and bad are legitimately subjective things. You know, there isn't really a way to define good or bad to an objective level. And, you know, there'll be people out there that disagree with that. I mean, it's true. But, you know, people will disagree with that. Like, 200 years ago, you know, what, 250 years ago, well, no, the Civil War was in the 1800s. In fact, I think it was almost 100 years after the War for Independence. So if I'm thinking 1776, then that's wrong. But if I were to think, you know, 18 whatever, like, you know, we thought to actually say what I was going for, you know, we thought slavery was a perfectly fine thing. Nowadays, we know that that's not right. 100 years from now, that could change. You know? I mean, there's plenty of, like, religious texts that are like, slaves. Slaves are good. And it's like, no, they're not. I do like the one statement that I saw the other day, which is, if your holy book teaches you how to treat your slaves, maybe it's not maybe that's not a holy book. Because, like, you know, slavery is bad. So, like, you shouldn't need to know how to treat slaves because slavery is bad. If instead your holy book says the opposite, maybe, you know, maybe that's not the most perfect book after all, right? I think I might have lost a crate. You know, if your holy book has issues with things that are perfectly normal and natural, like, you know, being gay, for example. If your holy book has issues with that, maybe, maybe your holy book is not perfect. Which, I guess, by the way, it is June. I just thought of that just now. Like, it is June. You know? Whoops. Sorry, cat. I didn't mean to freaking kick ya. But at the same time, if we're gonna freaking go underneath my foot, I think he is getting bigger. I think maybe he has gotten a bit bigger. It's just been slow. Alright, there's a crate right there. I don't know if it's that he's gotten bigger or if I'm just standing in the right spot to not glitch through his gigantic spines. He probably got bigger. Let's be honest. Because again, Maverick did say that there wasn't a limit to how big these guys got. But that was also a while ago. I don't know maybe if that's changed at all. But at least we do have something to compare him to now. You know, we can compare him to the side of this cliff. And like, as we give him more, we can see like how much, like, you know, how like high he is to the cliff. How tall he is. But also, like, I feel like even just in this well, I just moved him, so yeah. I was gonna say, just in this episode, I feel like the spike, you know, wasn't as gigantic. But I just moved him this episode, so like, this is the only chance that, like, this episode is the only chance that there could have been. Can I? Yes and no. Like, I can start the interaction, but then I don't actually give him anything. I was wondering if I could feed him by, like, giving it to his arm. Oh, he's definitely gotten bigger. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just because I'm not glitching. Maybe I'm just standing in a different spot. I don't know. Maybe somebody can, like, clip, like, his size at the beginning of the episode. And then, you know, compare that to where he is now at the end of the episode. It's kind of difficult to reach him. Like, I have to kind of stand here on, like, the edge of the cliff. Boy might legitimately just be getting too big. It very well might be that I actually need to shrink him. What happens if I drop a... Ha! The crates float. Alright, I mean, sure. Why not? I can even freaking float the bin. That's great. Actually, that works out really well. Because then, when they go flying, like this... Whoa! I spawned so many. It actually was lagging. That's great. I love that. Like, legitimately, I love doing that. I love, like, making a game lag by, like, just spawning a bunch of stuff in, you know? Like, it's really fun. Do. Like, I kind of want to test Like, how many of these crates can I spawn in without it, you know, like before it becomes an actual problem? But also, like, I don't want to break the game. You know, because, like, I haven't saved. Like, I guess I could go save, right? And then, like, come back, you know? I mean, I have plenty of stone. Spawning a ton in would not be difficult. But also, we are like at the end of the episode. You know, we're almost 3 hours in, and I've been trying to keep these at 2 hours. So, like, probably I should probably just go open the shop so that we can, like, get through the day. Here, let's do this. We could go open the shop so that we can, like, get through the day. Also, I am mounted. Okay. I thought I wasn't mounted because I didn't feel like I was going fast enough, but I am. Since they're more than capable of handling, you know, stocking and checkout on their own. It's really just like the keeping stock, like buying stock. Yeah, we'll do 8 more crates, and then we'll go check our stock in the shop. And buy whatever we need. I am getting customers, right? I just feel like I haven't seen the money go up. There it goes. Now the money went up. Oh, he got bigger. Yep. There is definite biggerage. I can see the spike there on his arm. Like, it got taller. I suppose people were probably walking around and, like, picking up a lot of stuff. And, you know, you don't see any money come in until they actually go to a register. Oh my goodness. $17.72. Okay, it's not as busy as I thought. I opened my register because it looked like there were a lot of people at the checkout, but it does not. That's fine though. I don't mind helping check out. I thought that there were like way more people. But nope. Eh? Ah! I swear it wasn't there a moment ago. Like... Well, at least I just didn't see it. If it was... Oop, exact change. I did think it was funny when that there was a bug in the game that made it so that customers always gave you exact change. Because, like, on one hand, I was really enjoying that. Because it's like, hey, I don't have to freaking, you know, bother with the change. So, like, I thought it was neat. But, like, also, yeah, it was obviously a bug. You know, it wasn't supposed to do that. Even if I thought that it was pretty neat that, you know, customers were giving me exact change. Ooh, our night clothes were low. The scroll wheel stopped working. I might have to buy a new mouse. I've noticed lately that my scroll wheel sometimes just like stops working randomly. Like I'll be, you know, doing something and then I'll like go to scroll and it's like, nope. I'm just like, the frick, you know? Well, the pink is very obvious when it's lit up. So like there's that. Like when the you know the pink that's lit up versus the pink that's not. Or versus like the parts that are like white, you know? Hey, look. Our nighttime event today is little bear cub ghost. I think there's technically always a nighttime event. It's just whether or not it's the bear. Because, like, that bear can spawn in, like, 30 different locations. So... how are my fish doing? Decently. 1, 11, and 22. Of course, there's nothing up here, so, you know, customers aren't up here. Oop, I think I actually had some of that. It was just that it hadn't been stocked yet. Did I? I did not. I did not pay my bills. Oopsies. It's fine. Ba ba ba. Ba da 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 da. Ba da da. Can always count on Umbro's light at least. Oop, and day's over. Now it's just to remaining customers. As soon as the music changes, that's it. No more customers. Rather, you won't get any more customers, like, in. You know? Any customers that are still here, obviously, will, you know, be here, but... I think that's good enough. Coolies. Yeah, I mean, the store pretty much runs itself at this point, which is nice. Like, I took care of a whole, what, 4 customers? Like, for the most part, they really do just handle everything themselves. Which is great, don't get me wrong, you know? It's just kind of funny. It's like, wow. You know, that they handle things themselves pretty well at this point. Decorative office. Customizable. Don't actually know where the office items appeared at. Ah, scroll wheel. Office. That makes sense that they would be in the office section. Hourglass, inkwell, compass, scrolls, manuscripts. Cool. Not a lot that I would actually use. But I do like, I do want to eventually unlock everything. Regardless. You know, I just kind of also want to focus on the things that, you know, are beneficial to me at the moment. That's all. Table. I can have a medium table now. Interesting. I mean, it looks better. I kind of do wish that I had a table that was a little taller, or a little wider, rather. Like, or lengthwise, whatever. Oh my gosh. It would also be really nice if I could get a freaking positioned where I can see it from both like front and back. Okay. Yeah, no, that's lined up good. But that does look better. Not like because it's short, you know? Having it on the table, it looks a lot better. And this table matches up pretty well with the aquarium itself. So Mirai Soul Flare. I want to look at my fish. Oh, I don't even have any Mirai Soul Flare left. I had like 9 at the beginning of the day. Or, well, I think I had like 9 the previous day. Maybe not the beginning of this day. But I definitely had some more. I definitely had more than 0. You know? So. Interesting. What? Everybody likes the comment I left on Cider Spider. Cider Spider did a mentor roulette video today, which are some of like my favorite stuff that he posts. Getting 2,000 mentor roulettes thing. And it's fun because, like, you know, it's just fun to see like what kind of, you know, shenanigans happen, because mentor roulette does generally end up putting you with people that like don't know what they're doing a lot. And so like it's kind of fun, you know, seeing what kind of thing, you know, how things go wrong, you know, more or less. Whee! There they go. It's just all 4 of the wisps. They just hang out here, which is cool. The object of saving. Harvestables will refresh on reload. And we save again. Because I ended the day. 5,000 money though. Hey! I'll have to talk to her again because I'm gonna quit here. But I can get her achievement. Many arrive with questions in hand. Few dare to ask what truly matters. Do not rush it, and let thought lead the way. Let purpose guide each silent step, for wisdom speaks only to those who listen. Yay! Wisdom at the gate. Gatekeeper of truth has acknowledged you. It's you know, more profits, but that's fine. I do wonder if I should do like off-screen grinding of like fishing, you know? Like if I'm gonna sell fish, maybe I should like just do some like off-screen fishing. Because I can just use the object of saving. I do wonder, like, if I... Wow! That voice... that voice crack just then. What the frick? Like that, just... everything I said there was just all voice crack. But I do wonder if, like, if I go through and I, like, harvest a bunch of stuff, right? And then I use the object of saving. So it says harvestables will be reloaded. Do I lose those harvestables when they reload? Or do the harvestables just reload and then I could just sit here and like harvest the same thing over and over again? You know? I guess I could check. Let's see. This is Night Blush. Oh yeah, 17901, right? Let's just grab a bunch of the Night Blush. We'll remember 17901. Well, no, we'll remember 18,006. Because the idea would be to check how much I have. And if it's different, right? So then we quit. And this may be something that, you know, that when the game is done, they turn around and fix. The whole harvestables reloading thing. Then we look up Night Blush. Yeah, 1806. And yeah, they are right here again. So yeah, if you really want a lot of something, at least here in the New Game Plus, or in the not New Game Plus, but the early access. Like if you really want a lot of something, you know, I mean, it could be a good way to get your out of Boundium, right? You know, set up a couple of the spires that are set to grab out of Boundium, and then, you know, activate the spire. You know, let it give you the things. Use the object of saving. And then reload. And then get, you know, get more out of Boundium. That would be really funny. I wouldn't do it. I would consider setting up the harvest spires like on the castle, because there's a couple of spots on the castle there that have the big ones. So like I would consider putting one or two of those over there, especially now that we can fly. Because you know, before you couldn't use the zip ties to get over. Now you can. But also, you know, now I can just fly, right? I wonder, do I have to talk to the people again? Yep. I have no bonuses. Okay. Good to know. Because, you know, we talked to her and we got the 15% bonus. So. But yeah, I think I'll go ahead and end things off here. We'll just click the object of saving again, since I did harvest some things. But now that I know that I can save, and like it'll give me like this, you know, I will keep the stuff. That's what I was trying to say. I might consider doing some. Oh. Now it's painted correctly. Lol. I wonder, does that mean that the inside here is painted as well? Oh, neat. So technically, you only need to paint the outside, and it does both sides. So maybe that's why, like, I clicked here and it painted, but then I couldn't paint here, because maybe it was supposed to have painted both sides, but that was a bug. Ah, yeah, even the inside's painted here too. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it does look like they're thinking about adding a fourth floor, so that's really cool. You know, they made this bigger, which was one of the things that they had to do if they were going to make this available to us to, like, build. They fixed a lot of the, like, weird geometry that was up here, which is cool. But now they've also gone and added this, like, fourth set of stairs. So they might extend another, like, floor, which would be pretty cool, actually. Anyway, I'm gonna end off here. I hope you've all enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe. You can check the playlist to get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. I normally stream over at twitch.tv/SereneInc. So feel free to come on out and check that out. As I mentioned earlier, I've been in the middle of a move. I know this is going out on like June 11th or 12th. So like I might be done with the move by this point, by the time you're actually seeing this. I also just might not be. Because who knows? Because again, we were supposed to be done freaking freaking Sunday, and that didn't happen, so. But again, that wasn't exactly, you know, familial fault. When U-Haul tells you, like, oh yeah, we'll reserve a truck for you, and then they don't. So. But with that, I'll see you all next time. See you later. Oh my gosh, my cat knocked over the stream deck. So I can't hit the stop recording button. I guess I will just talk for a moment because I have to freaking get the stream deck. Like, I have to freaking... The stream deck fell over. And I have to freaking pick it up. That was really funny. Uh-oh. Nope, the stream deck has frozen. I have to actually hit buttons via OBS. The Stream Deck crashed. Whoopsies. Alright, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.